What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Sneak video. And today we're going to be talking about the Stranger Things Season 5 finale. And if Season 5 was good as a whole. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, spoiler alert. If you have not watched the Stranger Things finale, please do so. I do not want to be the one who spoils you. Okay. So for positives, I think we got a lot of good scenes. First of all, we had Vecna and Hopper. I think that interaction was great. We got to see not only Vecna kind of outmaneuver Eleven, but Hopper was scared of Vecna. And that's kind of atypical of him since he's always that protective figure. So I think that was pretty cool. We also had the scene between Steve and Jonathan. That was also pretty cool. I thought Steve was a goner for a second, so I was very worried. And after that, they also seemed to maybe clear up a little bit of their feud there in the Abyss. So that was great. I'm also angry, regarding the monster in the Abyss as well. I should have known that was a huge spider, man. Like, the tree thing that they were all living in, or where Vecna was at, was clear. Like, that was so clear as day that was not, like, an actual tree. Like, that was definitely a monster. I don't know how I missed that. Especially with the heart pumping in that chamber that Vecna was chilling in. And then finally, like, the ending scenes, I think, for a lot of the characters were great. I feel like it kind of wrapped their storylines up pretty well, at least for the finale. Like Hopper in his police uniform, them going to Enzo's, because I think that was talked a bunch in season 3. We also had them finish the episode with them playing a final game of Dungeons and Dragons. I think it was very sentimental, and I think a lot of those emotions that they were all feeling were definitely very real. And Steve as well as the baseball coach, oh my gosh, and the teacher, that was so awesome. They did Steve right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so happy he didn't die. Now, let's get into the negatives of this finale, and unfortunately, there are a good bit. The biggest issue for me in this finale was just there were so many like untied ends. The Mind Flayer, who is he? Is he an alien? What was his real agenda? Why did he want to destroy Earth? I thought it was cool that we saw that Henry wasn't actually the big bad. It was the Mind Flayer, but we never got to understand any of his reasoning or where it came from. So I was definitely disappointed by that. Plus, also all the Demogorgon. Where were the Demogorgon? It was just the spider, just the big spider monster. Where were the Demobats or the Demodogs? I mean, like, they could have made this battle so much better. And then the military as well. Just, they also play the most useless role. Like, I understand maybe season 3, like, when they didn't come, like, I sort of understand that, but, like, this is the end game. Like, there's no way the military just let that slide. Hopper and Nancy, I'm pretty sure, both killed military personnel, like, U.S. military personnel. So how did they, after everybody got caught by the military, how did they get out of custody? Did they serve, like, a year sentence before the graduation scene or whatever? I mean, that is, like, how does that make any sense? Also, like, the numerous time jumps that we kind of experienced throughout the whole season, but especially in that episode, we missed such important stuff. I feel like kind of going through what the military ended up doing with them, it almost seems a little bit lazy that they wouldn't show us any of that. They had some cool characters in the military, especially getting, like, the Terminator actress. I would have loved to see more of her, or at least maybe the military face some pushback from these guys after, like, trying to torture 11 and 8. I mean, it's like what are we doing? I will also add, I feel like the way they took out Vecna was, like, way too easy and quick. That should have been the longest part of that episode, them trying to fight Vecna and defeat the Mind Flayer. Because in season 4, they were almost wiped out by Vecna, right? Like, Vecna could have just killed all of them probably. It was just, like, ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? I would have loved to see a scene maybe where, like, Will and 11 and maybe even 8 were able just to, like, all use their powers at the same time to kill Vecna while the others are attacking the Mind Flayer. Like, that would have been so cool. I'm grateful the finale wasn't painfully bad. It was still somewhat good. It could have been so much better. I would have loved to see really, or understand more about the other creatures and maybe the Mind Flayer. I guess we'll never know. Even the entire season 5, I feel like, has just kind of been a little bit of a letdown. compared to season 1, I watched a few minutes of it recently. Season 1 is just so, it has such a different energy. It's crazy. Same with season 2, both of them. And they're so good. It's so interesting. I feel like season 4 was back on track with the energy, and they just didn't know where to go from there. I think season 4, they set up season 5 for something really good. You had a strong antagonist. We could have really seen or understood so much more about the different creatures and the mind flare. I'm grateful it wasn't worse. As I said, it's still pretty decent. I feel like we got a lot of closure, and we don't know what happened to 11. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll get some type of sequel or spinoff. But yeah, that's my review. I give it 6 out of 10. It wasn't great, but you had to end the show somehow. Thank you guys so much for watching my review. If there's anything else you want me to review, let me know. And yeah, thank you again for you guys' support. I love you guys. Yeah. So, all right. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.